let me do a quick recap of what we discussed in the demo. So if we talk about BOBI, business objects, business intelligence, 4.x is the version 4.2. So it's a BI product from business objects, which is an SAP company. So when we say a BI product, what are we doing with this? It's all about reporting, right? I'm sure we all know about this, but let me confirm it that whatever we do with this tool is with respect to analytics. In other words, we call it reporting or we call it as BI. So there are several BI tools in the market like MSBI, Microsoft BI, OBIE, Oracle BI, Cognos BI. Likewise, the BI product from SAP is Business Objects BI. So what we do here is reporting. So before even we go ahead and understand reporting, we need to understand a basic concept called what is the difference between a transactional system versus data warehouse. And where are we doing this reporting? On which system we are doing reporting? So we need to understand what is the difference between OLTP and data warehouse. So OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing System. So what it means actually? So any system which is taking care of company's day-to-day business process is a transactional system. So what do we mean by that? What is a business process? Take any scenario, for example, you are paying your bills. The back-end system which takes care of your bill payments, which will go ahead and adjust your account. So that is a transactional system. Okay, you purchase an item through an online web store. So that is the backend system whichever is handling that transaction. That is a OLTP system. So how you are tracking your order? So if there is any system which is where you can track your order, that is a OLTP system. The company has several employees. Their salary has to be credited at the end of the month. So the payroll management system, that is a transaction system. So any system independent of technology which is handling the day-to-day business process is OLTP, Online Transaction Processing System. So what happens if in a transactional system, every time you have a business process, data is generated. So that data has to be stored somewhere in the underlying database, right? So the if you see the transactional system, you will have n number of business transactions happening every second. So you have a lot of database insertions, inserts, updates, you sometimes deletes, and few times you also have read operations. So your transactional, the on your OLTP database, you will have lot of database write operations, inserts and updates. So the underlying database should be optimized for this particular database inserts and updates. So what we do is to make this database efficient for this write operation. Instead of updating one single large table with 1,000 fields, for example, what you do is you split that data into more number of tables. Like when we are creating a purchase order, the purchase order data will be stored in multiple tables. You will have one header table, you will have a line item table, then a schedule line item table, schedule line table. So what are we doing there? The data, instead of updating one single table, to make the database insert efficient, you split that into more number of tables and you're parallelly updating the record. So that way the database insert is going to be efficient. So that kind of data storage is called normalized schema. Okay, so I'm not getting into the depth of levels of normalization, etc. So that's completely a database concept. We'll not delve into that. So to make this database efficient for the database inserts or updates, we are following a normalized schema. Normalized schema is characterized by more number of tables that will ultimately lead to more joins. Okay, but this kind of schema is pretty much required to make sure the database insert or update or delete is faster. But now the problem with this kind of data storage is reporting. So we'll talk about scenarios with HANA later. Okay, so how HANA is game changing the data warehousing landscape. So those are all advanced topics. We'll discuss that. Now, if I want to do reporting on top of this transaction system, because here you have large tables and more tables, basically more joins. If you are having tables with lot of data and you are executing lot of joins, the SQL performance would be very bad. So data retrieval from the OLTP system would be very inefficient. Let's say, for example, I have the header table going back to the same purchase for PO table, PO related tables, purchase order tables. Header table is having a million records. The item table is having 10 million. The schedule line table is having some 20 million. You need to execute join between these big tables. That join would be very bad in terms of performance, and the query might take a lot of time to run. A user can't wait for 15-20 minutes or half an hour to see the report output. Or the query might not even run if the data volume is further growing. If you see the sales tables, finance tables, there would be very big, even billions of records. So the transactional reporting on transactional system is not efficient. Most of the time, the query might run very slow, or that might not even run. So people thought about, okay, well, let's not do reporting on the transactional system. Let's maintain a separate system for reporting, and we call that as a data warehouse. Okay, I'm just talking about how the concept of data warehousing evolved. So what we do is, instead of doing reporting on the transactional system, you maintain a separate system called data warehouse, and you do all your reporting on the data warehouse. So this system, data warehousing system, is purely used for reporting. So what you do here is, the underlying database will be, so this database will be optimized for reporting. So here you follow normalized schema, here you denormalize the data. Meaning, so kind of you bring all the transactional data to one single table surrounded with smaller tables. So that we'll discuss that in later, but you will have here few tables or less joins, more indexed data, and aggregated data, summarized data. So these are the characteristics of a data warehouse. So what you are going to do is, you maintain a separate system for reporting, called data warehouse, and the way how you store the data in the warehouse is different when compared to the way how you store the data in the transactional system. Here you split the data, whereas here you do the reverse of it. So you bring data from those multiple tables and store it in one central table. So that is called denormalization. So you have your data in the transaction system, but now you are doing reporting here. So you need to do the ETL process. So ETL is nothing but extract the data from OLTP, transform. So apply your business logic when you are extracting data from multiple systems. Homogenize the data, meaning convert all the data into one single format, cleanse the data, and then load the data to the data warehouse. So that is called ETL. So we have a question here: how Informatica is different from BO? Okay, yeah, very good question. So I'll come out of that question in next few seconds. Okay, so here we have ETL. What is the ETL process doing? ETL is going to bring data from OLTP system into the data warehouse. Then on top of that, we are doing reporting. So this reporting is can be done by any of these tools: Business Objects BI, MSBI. These are several reporting tools from several vendors. First one is from SAP, the next one is from Microsoft, OBIE, Oracle Business Intelligence, Cognos BI. If you've heard about ClickView, Tableau, whatever is the spelling, TIBCO Spotfire. So all these are reporting tools, okay, from several vendors. Let's say you want to buy a car. There are several companies offering different models of cars, different varieties. Likewise, one of the reporting tool is Business Objects BI, which we are talking about. Okay, so this is an ETL. So this ETL, there are several ETL tools from several companies, from different companies. So one is SAP BODS, Business Objects Data Services, Informatica, Data Stage, Oracle Data Integrator, AV Initio. So using Informatica or any of this ETL tool, you bring data from OLTP to the data warehouse, then you do your reporting. So Informatica is an ETL tool. Once the ETL tool brings the data to the data warehouse, then comes the reporting part. Okay, so you understood the difference between, yeah, thank you. So ETL is the process in which you bring data from the transactional system to the data warehouse. So what you do is you build some kind of layers which makes it efficient for reporting. So that is called modeling. And then on top of that, so the reporting will come into picture. So we are talking about the business objects BI reporting. Now, when we say OLTP, like you are already working on several OLTP systems. So SAP ERP, ECC, this is a transaction system. It can be SAP CRM. It need not be an SAP. It can be any application. Let's say Siebel CRM. There is a HCM tool, Success Factors. There is a planning application, Hyperion Planning. You might use some billing software, third-party billing software, Lodestar. Nowadays, it's very common that every enterprise has so many transactional systems. So for all your call center related details, you might have an IVR, interactive voice response system. So all these are your transactional systems. You will maintain only one data warehouse. You call it as an enterprise data warehouse. And whatever the data which is relevant for reporting, you bring that data from all these transactional systems to the data warehouse. So you connect all your OLTP system, transactional system, to the data warehouse. So using any of the ETL tool, you're going to bring the data from all these OLTP systems into data warehouse. So now in the data warehouse, what you have integrated data, you have enterprise data, and whatever is your reporting requirement, you need not really bother about your transactional system. You just need to contact your data warehouse. Single point of truth. Whereas if I do reporting on OLTP system, one performance drawback already we discussed is the query performance. Another issue is, let's say I would like to, in one report, I would like to see the sales data, comparison with marketing data, with the planning data. So that data is coming from three different systems. If I don't have a warehouse, you have to push the data from a planning system to CRM or vice versa. So these systems are not meant for that. Okay, these transactional systems are meant to handle the business transactions. Now you start building these interfaces, etc. That's all going to complicate things. Now I can't do just reporting on just this ECC. I have only sales data here. So I don't have integrated data within these transaction systems, whereas a data warehouse has. This tool, this system is built for reporting. So you bring all the transactional data from multiple systems, you integrate it here. So that is another advantage of a data warehouse. The next advantage is historical reporting. You don't maintain historical data in your transactional system. Data older than 1.5 years, usually it will be archived in the transactional system. Otherwise, you can't manage the data volume here. Now, if I want to analyze last 3 years sales comparison, I don't have so much of data in this. Whereas your warehouse, the name itself says data warehouse meant for storage. You maintain up to 2 to 7 years of data here. The system is meant for reporting. So for historical reporting, again, I don't need to depend on my transaction system. I can directly go for, that is a data warehouse will also help for historical reporting. So that is another advantage of having a data warehousing system. Performance, then integrated reporting, then historical reporting, etc. So this data warehouse can be, you can implement this data warehousing using a simple database. Like for example, Oracle, TB2, Teradata. Okay. Or this can be even a data warehousing solution can be implemented using a in-memory database called HANA. Okay. Or companies can choose of going for a data warehousing application from SAP or BW or some other non-SAP data warehousing solution. Okay. See, by like we have several options to go for reporting. Like we can pick from one of these tools. Like we have several tools for the ETL. You have several transactional systems. The data warehousing solution can be implemented is by a simple relational database or can be implemented by a in-memory database or can be implemented by a data warehousing product from SAP or any other non-SAP data warehousing products. Okay, there are several options to implement this data warehousing solution. But when it comes to business objects reporting, so these scenarios would be highly used, meaning you can do business objects reporting on top of BW. So my data warehouse is BW, or I can just use this HANA database and then go for BW reporting, or I can use this a Oracle database as a data warehousing solution, and I can go for reporting. Or something like complex scenarios, advanced scenarios like BW on HANA. Okay, so can be used for reporting. So this data warehousing solution can be any of this. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. What is the advantage of implementing HANA? What is the advantage of implementing BW? When a company will go for BW, when a company will go for HANA, when they go for a relational database. Okay, so when we say data warehouse, sorry, yeah. So when we say a data warehouse, that solution can be implemented by any of these products. So we'll slowly talk about them. Now let's talk about what are the several reporting tools available in business objects. Before that, any questions? So we'll talk about what are the several reporting tools available in business objects, why you have so many tools, why there is a redundancy, how SAP is converging those tools, what are the new tools. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss in the next 1 hour. So before that, do you have any questions on this? What is a data warehouse? What is the BI? Where is ETL? What is BODS? What is BODS? Business Objects Data Services. That's an ETL tool. Whereas we are talking about Business Objects BI reporting. Okay. So now let's start with considering that we are implementing this relational database in Oracle or DB2 Teradata as a data warehousing solution. So like I said, you might have one project, one company might have implemented data warehousing using Oracle. So this might be implemented by one company for data warehousing and reporting. So here in this database, what you do, you store the data in the denormalized fashion. Okay, or it can be a company can implement SAP HANA and go for view reporting on top of it. This can be one solution. It can be SAP BW. So this BW can run on any database. So that's a different story. So a company might use BW and BO, HANA and BO. Not only Oracle, but any other relational database. These are all databases. Okay, Teradata, Sybase, SQL Server. Likewise, any other database like Netezza, Excel. Okay, so a BW application can run on SAP HANA. So this BO reporting can connect through the BW layer for advanced scenarios. This BO can also directly connect with HANA. So this is again some additional advanced level of reporting scenarios. Okay. So BO connecting to BW. So BO is a reporting system, right? So can you have BO and BW both run on one HANA? Meaning, are you asking like the database of this BO can be HANA? Is that what you're asking? Yes, because you can just store the metadata of business objects in this database. Okay, so technically that's yes, we can also do that. So when you install Vivo, you can use the same HANA database. You can also install BW on the same HANA database. So technically, yes, we can do that. So these are the several scenarios where you can see a business objects project or even a non-SAP data warehousing tools like Hyperion, etc. can be Hyperion S-base can be used. Okay, but traditionally, so you will find business objects mainly in one of these projects. So scenarios will change. How you connect with these backend systems. So if you are working on a relational database, so you need to build some layers here. Logic will change. When it comes to BW, again the logic will change. So for now, to keep it simple, I'll talk about how business objects is connecting with a relational database. Okay, so let's say I have a data warehouse. Okay, implemented with the help of SQL Server. Okay, here we are storing the data in a denormalized fashion. Denormalized data. Okay, now we'll talk about what are the several reporting tools available in business objects. So when the ETL process runs, data is extracted from OLTP system and updated into this data warehouse in several tables. So let's say you have one product table, you have transaction data in one single table called sales, then you have some customer. Okay, you have several tables in a denormalized fashion in this database. So basically, this is our data warehouse. So first, what you need to do is you need to build a interface. Okay, you need to build a layer called universe. In this universe, you will basically you are going to do the data modeling. Data modeling meaning you're going to bring all these tables and define a schema. So kind of a to make reporting easier, faster, flexible with the help of this universe. Okay, so you join all these several tables, you connect all these tables here in a universe. So you're kind of defining a data model in this universe layer. Remember, universe is connecting to the backend database. Universe doesn't store any data. None of the business objects tools store any data. They connect to a backend system where the data lie. So once I design this universe, okay, so before that, which tool do we use to build this universe? We use a tool called IDT, Information Design Tool. So this tool is available in Business Objects 4.x, 4.0 version from BO 4.0 version. Meaning, prior to that, are we not designing universes? No, we are designing universes, but there was another tool called Designer or UDT, okay, so Universe Design Tool. So this is a tool which is used to design universes in the older version of business objects. Now starting with BI4, so this tool is remodified and given in the form of IDT. Okay, so using any of these tools, obviously the latest version would be preferred going forward. SAP roadmap would be obviously to use the IDT for all universe modeling. So there might be support stopped to Unity after some time. So both the tools are meant for the same designing universes. Once this universe is designed, then comes the reporting part. Okay, So this scenario of universe designing would be required only when we are working in a relational database as a data warehousing system. If I work on HANA, scenario is different. If I work with business objects, that is different. So when I work with BW, the scenario is different. Okay. Okay. Yes, there are changes in the IDT in the 4.x version. We'll discuss that. So now once we design this universe, what we are going to do is we are going to connect our reporting tools. The first tool we have in business objects is WebI. So it stands for Web Intelligence. So I connect this Webby report on top of this universe. So this tool is for interactive reporting or ad hoc reporting. First tool in business objects is WebI. It's used for interactive reporting or ad hoc reporting. So let's quickly see how a universe will look like, how a Webby will look like, what is this ad hoc reporting, interactive reporting, etc.
So, Ganesh,
Yeah, Krishna.
Krishna here. So what you are saying is you will create universe only if you want to use reporting on relational database, not on SAP BW or HANA. Is that right?
Yes. So this modeling layer would be you required only in case of or a relational data warehouse. So when you implement HANA, this logic, whatever you do in universe, that logic is pushed into HANA and we call them as information models, attribute views, analytic views, calculation views. The same way in BW, that logic is the logic is implemented in BW in the form of info cubes, multi-providers, info set. So ideally, we don't require a universe for BW and HANA. Okay. So for HANA, we still use a universe, but that's just for the interface. You don't do any modeling here. What is the meaning of modeling? How you combine data from several tables, how you design the data model to make the data efficient or suitable for reporting. So building the data models will happen in universe if it is a relational data warehouse. You don't need to do all that in case of HANA and BW. So if you remember, we never designed a universe on BW, right? We directly connected the BEX query with Webby. Agree?
Yeah.
So this is the tool IDT, which stands for Information Design Tool. So in this tool, we are going to manage see it. So all these tables are available in the backend database SQL Server. It need not be SQL Server. It can be Oracle, DB2, Teradata, Sybase, Netezza, HANA, anything. So here we have data in a denormalized fashion. What is denormalization? We'll talk about it. Okay, but understand that. So in a transactional system, you have normalized data. In a data warehouse, you have denormalized data. So these tables are joined by some logic. Here you can see all these tables are joined, and a data model is created. So this is called universe designing, right? So using this IDT, we have designed this universe. by joining several tables of what you have in the backend. Now you created a simple interface. Now the reporting will be more easy, flexible. So using IDT, I created a universe layer. Now, if I want to do reporting on top of this, let me start with Webby. So if I go to start all programs, here you have business objects BI, client tools. The first reporting tool is web intelligence, whereby. So once I join these several tables, I'm going to create some objects here. So you can see this within this folder structure, I created some objects. Now I connect this Webby reporting with the universe, which is designed in the backend. Okay. So based on the data model, how these tables are joined with each other, and based on the objects you select in the Webby report, so automatically a SQL query will be generated. So for example, so I would like to create a Webby report on one universe. Okay. So this is a universe which I have selected. So this folder structure, if you see this, when I expand this folder, you see some objects. All these are designed as a part of the universe. Okay. Now reporting will be flexible, easier. So I drag and drop these objects. So you can see automatically there is a SQL query which is generated. How this query is generated based on the objects we selected, based on the several logics table joins we did in the universe, this SQL is generated. When I run the query, now without any manual way of writing SQL code, the query is generated. So automating your reporting, automating the query generation. Now this is an ad hoc reporting tool. Let's understand what is an ad hoc report or an interactive report. So I will add some other objects here. Here quarter. So I'm currently looking into revenue and quantity sold by state and city. So I'm an end user. Okay. I'm interested in analyzing this revenue by various dimensions. Not only I just want, I'm not only just interested in analyzing the revenue by state and city. I would like to see, so this revenue in Houston is some 5.5 million. I want to see in which years we got this revenue. So what is the year breakdown? I can drag and drop here. So now you can see the report is now showing at the year level. I'm interested just about Texas data, so I can apply a filter here. I would like to break this data by product line. I'm mainly interested about 2005 data by product line. I would like to aggregate the data by product line. I can remove state and city. I can visualize the data in different charts. So this is an ad hoc report, a interactive report. You can convert this into your pie chart.
Ganesh, I have a couple of questions actually.
Yeah.
Might not be now, but later on, like during the course or something. Um, so, do we have all the functionalities of with the basic knowledge that I have? Like, do we have all the functionalities that are available on Crystal reports in Webby reports, or some of the functionalities are not there? I know that Crystal reports is basically used for formatting or something like that, but is do we have the functionalities or the features that are available in Crystal reports in Webby?
Oh no, Krishna. So each tool has its own specialization. So there would be some common features between the tools, but
Mhm.
what all Webby can do, Crystal can't do, and vice versa. What all Crystal can do, Webby can't do.
Okay.
Right? So based on the reporting requirement, based on the targeted user, we need to pick these tools.
So, means then I assume that you'll be when you're dealing with different type of reports, you'll be dealing when to use what kind of reports, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So we'll start with Webby. We'll explore Webby with all the functionality. Then we go to Crystal. Then when we were building a Crystal, we'll talk about which feature can't be implemented in Crystal, which feature can't be implemented in Webby. So you get that comparison.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
not only between Webby and Crystal, between all these tools, there are so many tools like dashboards, Design Studio, Lumira, BO Explorer. There is a confusion on the tools. There is a redundancy on the tools. We'll also talk about them. Okay.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, we in our company we have implemented all the tools that are available in the market, kind of thing. But there are a lot of add-ons we are adding in terms of like geographical maps and all those kind of things. Is there a chance we can see one of such small scenario-based add-ons like maps or something kind of thing? Small,
Yeah.
small scenario.
Yes.
How
Yes.
do
We'll
that
we'll
and
be
how
we'll
to?
see geographical maps with dashboards.
Okay,
We'll see with sorry, Lumira.
okay,
Yeah. We'll see that.
okay. Thank you.
So the next tool available in BO is dashboards. So when we say Webby is for interactive reporting, dashboards are for aggregated, summarized KPI monitoring. So in simple words, if I say dashboards are mainly for aggregated, high level, summarized data and easy to use. These are targeted for a top level management, easy to use, very well presented, very interactive. It's a dashboard. Let me show you a dashboard to understand what is exactly how it is different from a Webby report. Okay, so Webby, you will have lot of analytical options here. So you can see there are several options using which you can analyze the data. See, reporting is not just simply seeing the output in one table. It's not about it. It's basically analyzing the data. There is a very big difference between just a simple report and data analysis. So Webby is an interactive reporting. Like I said, here we saw an example how what are the different ways you looked into revenue and quantity sold. Here you are managing. You can do a lot of calculations here. Okay, so you can see the data in a tabular format. You can drill down into the data. Now, if I go for a dashboard, let me show some pre-built dashboard. So let me open one pre-built dashboard. for our example to understand.
So, Ganesh, is Excelsius and Lumira both are dashboard reports, or is there a difference between Lumira and Excelsius?
Yeah. So dashboards or Excel sheets one and the same. Okay. This is a dashboarding tool. Then we have other tools like SAP Vivo Design Studio. Then we have SAP Lumira. So you can build dashboards using these three tools. Okay, that's why I'm saying that there is a redundancy. So let me explain one by one. So this was the initial tool in business objects for dashboarding requirement. So first of all, to understand what is a dashboard, let me preview this. See a webby report. So you can do some adapt analysis. You can filter some data. Let's say by product line or let's say by city. But here, this is mainly used for interactive reporting. We discussed what is interactive report. But for a top level manager, okay, they're not really interested into the depth of the data. They would be mainly interested of the KPI, key performance indicator, monitoring metrics, and you want to present this data in a very interactive manner in very nice visualization. So that's where a dashboard will come into picture. So you can see these are so this is a dashboard. This is an interactive report. So to build the dashboard, we have this tool, dashboards, or in the previous version, it is called Excelsius. Now the problem with this tool is this is good for less data volume, but when the data volume is very huge, this tool is not great in terms of performance, especially when the data volume is very huge. So SAP released this tool called Design Studio, which is optimized for tools like SAP BW on HANA. You can also connect to the relational database through the universe interface. So this dashboards, when you compare with the Design Studio, both tools are for dashboarding only, for to build complex dashboards. The first difference between these tools is performance. Design Studio is good in terms of performance when compared to the this tool, Excelsius. The next difference is here the data manipulation has to happen through Excel, so through Excel interface. So Design Studio supports scripting. So this would be using Design Studio, you can build even more complex dashboards. Here, whereas you have to manage all the data manipulations, different logic you need to implement using Excel. Now, to see this dashboard, okay, so how this interactivity is happening, okay? How this interactivity is happening. So if I go back to the design mode, you have all this Excel logic here implemented. Okay, so this primarily uses Excel to for data manipulation. So here you can do scripting. Scripting meaning using Java methods, you can filter the data, you can interact with the data, you can do all type of interactivity. So you have the ability to use Java methods for data manipulation and interactivity. So this can be using Design Studio. You can build even more complex dashboards, which are not which are problematic with dashboards. So we can say that the Design Studio is the future dashboarding tool from SAP. SAP is still going to support dashboards. It's still going to support Excel sheets, but all the future enhancements for dashboarding would be Design Studio. Another comparison between these two tools is dashboards use as Flash. So this is a Flash file. The output of the dashboard is a Flash file. You see generating SWF, shockwave format, nothing but a Flash file. Flash is not so great on mobile. Okay, now obviously all the companies are going for mobile computing. You want to access this dashboard on mobile, again, performance is not great. It doesn't mean that you cannot see this dashboard in uh, it doesn't mean that you can't see this dashboard in mobile, but not so great on the performance. Whereas here it uses HTML, so it's very lightweight when compared to the dashboard. Then again we have one more tool called Lumira. This tool is not an ideally this is a dashboarding tool. Okay, this is mainly for data exploration. This tool is mainly intended for exploring the data, and using Lumira you can build very simple dashboards. You can't build complex logics like what you do here. Okay, so this tool is mainly intended to for the end users. Okay, if they, let's say I'm an end user, I don't want to depend on you guys. You are business objects consultants. I don't want to depend on IT team for every simple requirement. I'm not technically good. If you ask me to build a Webby report, I don't know how to use that tool. I don't want to depend on IT for every simple reporting requirement. So then Lumira will come into picture. So using Lumira, you are giving self-service BI to the end users. You are making the end user analyze his own data. A very simple interface. Here you can't build some complex reports. So using Lumira, you can build some dashboards, but very simple dashboards, presentation-wise. You can't do some complex dashboards using Lumira. So that's the difference between Lumira dashboards and Design Studio. Yeah, please tell me. You have some questions? Yeah, Surya.
Yeah, Ganesh. As you said that Vivo Design Studio is built on scripting, right? So I mean, if I want to learn Design Studio, I should know the JavaScript.
There are so many predefined methods which you can use. You don't need to write coding for that. Okay.
Okay. So I mean, if no need to learn, I mean, no need to write scripting, right?
Yeah, we are not writing any Java code for this. Okay. We'll
Okay.
make use of the existing predefined Java methods unless you want to customize which are not options not available in the tool, then you
Mm-hmm.
might write some additional code. But most of the cases, 90% of the cases, you are making use of the predefined scripts methods already available in the tool.
Okay.
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 How do you know what security access needs to be granted for specific reporting tools? Like whereby I have, if I go to CMC Home and see Webby, in under application I see Webby. But what about dashboard and SLAP Lumira, SAP Lumira and SAP Design Studio? How do I know which object I need to assign to user permissions to?
So as an end user, you don't need to really access all these tools, right? So all these reports would be saved in one central database. So that one we call it as a repository. Okay. So this is a central storage where we store all the universes, Webby reports, Design Studio, all these are stored here. Now end users would be connecting to this repository through a tool called a web-based tool called Launchpad. Okay, let me take a new slide. So this is the business objects repository. Okay, nothing but a database where you store all the metadata objects which we create. If we design a universe or a Webby report or a dashboard, we save in this central database. We call it as repository. Now, end user will access all those reports through a tool called Launchpad. Whatever is your reporting, whether it is a Webby report or a Crystal, a dashboard or a design studio, all those can be accessed through the Launchpad. So just like you give access for a developer, let's say for a BI consultant, you need to give access to Webby. You need to give access to dashboard. So same tool, CMC will have all these options: access to Design Studio, access to Webby, access to dashboards. So Lumira is not part of the BI installation. Okay, so this will have a separate security. So if you go to CMC on the application security, you'll also find dashboards, Design Studio, and other tools like Crystal, etc.
Okay, all right.
So clear on this tool so far. Webby is for ad hoc reporting. For dashboarding, we have dashboards or Excel sheets. A advanced tool we have is Design Studio. Now we have one question: why we use data federation tool? See, in this case, now I have all this data in one table, one database, right? So I'm designing a universe here. So consider I have a scenario where I have a different database where I have some more tables. So let's say these tables are related to billing, some scenario. So within the same universe, I want to combine data from these two databases without one way is bring all the data to one database. Okay. So this is another scenario. Within the same universe, I would like to combine the data from multiple backend systems. You have data in different systems. Now, how do you manage that? So you require a data federator. Data federator is basically will enable us to bring data from multiple systems. So this universe now will be connecting to both of these databases backend. So just to combine data, so integrate the data between multiple backend systems, we require the data federator, because this universe is the source of the data of this universe is coming from multiple databases. Okay, so that's a feature of IDT, inbuilt feature, which in the backend makes use of the data federation. So this kind of universe you call it as multi-source universe, where the source of this universe is multiple sources, multi-source. Then we have another tool called crystal reports. Again, the same question. When we already have these tools, why the next tool? Crystal reports. Now let's go back to Webby. Why we are using Webby? Interactive reporting. Dashboards we discussed. Lumira is basically to simplify the reporting for the end user. This tool is targeting the end user mainly. So whereas this tool, Crystal Reports, is mainly for print requirements, for printing the reports. When the reporting requirements is mainly with respect to printing, then we'll go for Crystal Reports. So in other words, we also call it as formatted reporting. Customizing your report with respect to printing, meaning, so just think about your, just check your monthly mobile bill, the PDF format you get, right? Or your bank statements, your credit card statements. So I call that as a formatted report. If you see the layout of that report, it's very and very much customized. Try to build the same report in Webby, it's going to be very tough. Some of the features might not be supported here. You can customize a report with respect to all the options related to formatting. Like I'll give you a simple example. Using Crystal, you can customize dynamically the line width, line size, character size, font color, page margin, the spacing between characters, if you want any shadow kind of thing for a line. So everything related to formatting, you don't find all that options in Webby. Likewise, here I can write some complex formulas. I can design a lot of interactivity in the reporting. I can't do all that in Crystal. Like for example, here I'm doing ad hoc reporting. I have the ability to switch these objects. I have the option to write some complex formulas here. I can't do all that in Crystal. So in simple words, one tool can't do everything. So that's why we are having these many tools. So based on the reporting requirement, based on the targeted user, the reporting tools will change. So if my reporting requirement is mainly printing, Crystal report, I want a summarized KPI level reporting, I'll go for a dashboard. Okay. So like I said, Lumira, what is the purpose of Lumira? Data exploration. So you are giving an easy interface for the user to explore the data himself. There is another tool called BO Explorer, which does the same thing. Lumira is a new tool with many advanced features, which can be a good replacement for BO Explorer. So if you have Lumira, then you don't go for Explorer. Actually, Lumira is more advanced than compared to the Vivo Explorer. Purpose of both the tools is same, data exploration. What is data exploration? You give a dump of data to the user, he will analyze that data himself. He doesn't require any technical knowledge. The tool is very easy to use, simple navigation. Whereas in a Webby or a dashboard, these are controlled by IT. This is managed by these data exploration tools can be managed by business end users. These are controlled and managed by IT. Any change in the Webby report, end user will not do it. There would be some advanced users, super users who will create their own report, who are even more talented than most of the Webby guys. Okay, but not every end user is as much capable of designing their own Webby reports. If you see plant managers, they are not technically good at all. So even, I mean, not all, but most of the uh, end users are not so good in using these technical tools. But still, they don't want to depend on IT for every simple reporting requirement. I just want to do some records, right, which is there in the backend. For that, you don't require some complex Webby reports, etc. So that's where these tools are addressing, Lumira and Explorer. So Lumira is an advanced tool which can be a good replacement for Vivo Explorer. Okay. So then there is another tool. So when I'm working with SAP BW or SAP HANA or any other multi-dimensional tool, OLAP system. So from this database, you are actually bringing the data through SQL, okay, SQL. So these are some of the multi-dimensional tools from where you can access the data through MDX, multi-dimensional expression language, which is more optimized for query reporting, query performance. So especially to connect to these OLAP tools, there is a tool called SAP Business Objects Analysis for OLAP. SAP Business Objects Analysis for Office. Both tools are same, intended for multi-dimensional reporting, which can connect to these systems, and instead of doing a regular SQL access, these tools are going to bring the data through MDX connection, multi-dimensional expression language, which is very much optimized in terms of performance when you are handling huge amount of data. And these reporting tools will offer many features which are not offered by these tools, Webby and Dashboard. These are called relational reporting. This is called multi-dimensional reporting. Now, why two tools? What is the difference? This is a web-based tool. So this runs in Excel, Office. So some users would be more interested about, more accustomed to the Excel-based reporting. So this tool would be for that. When the data volume is very huge, let's say for example, you want to run with billions of records with profit center hierarchy. So you want to drill down 20 levels of profit center hierarchy. This tool will not work. The tool maybe can't handle that kind of data. It has to process the data through SQL. So it will not handle so much of data. Now, implementing that in this tool would be very fast. So for hierarchical reporting, multi-dimensional reporting, OLAP access, so these tools will come into picture. Business objects analysis for OLAP, which is a web-based, business objects analysis for Office, which is an Excel-based. So I'm very sure that it's not easy to understand the difference between all these tools if we didn't go into the depth of it. Okay, so just try to get a high level overview from this session on these tools. When we get into the data, when we get into the in the actual sessions, you will understand what is the difference between a SQL query, what is the difference between a MDX query, okay, why data is faster there, which features are supported in which tool. Okay, so there is a reason between all these tools. Based on the scenario, we need to pick the tool.
Ganesh, I have a couple of questions actually.
Yeah.
Uh, why do we use Live Office and how? When do you use it?
Live office almost gone now. Live office is basically, let's say we are two end users. Okay, we are business users. I'm sending an email to you. Okay, I want to we want to discuss about uh, the recent purchase orders POs we created. Okay, I don't want to just keep some text email. I don't want to just send a text email. I want to include a live viewer report in my email. So there a live office will help you. I'll write a text mail. I will include a viewer report in my email. I send it to you. You don't need to log into any other reporting tool. You refresh the email. You'll get the live data from the business objects, and that data will be refreshed within your email. I'm giving a presentation on the sales. Okay, so I want to show the sales data by country, by region, by city, by product line, etc. I don't need to create a static PPT by several slides. I'll include one viewer report in a PPT. I'm giving presentation. I can refresh the PPT. I can enter at what level I would like to see the data. I can show the live report in PPT. So that is the purpose of live office. But that feature is already coming in this tool, view analysis for office. You'll also have view analysis for PPT. Okay. So live office would be replaced by this tool. Likewise, the features of view analysis for OLAP are replaced by Lumira. Okay. So Lumira is an advanced tool which is a good replacement for Vivo Explorer and OLAP. So meaning Lumira is also can do the MDX connection. Okay. So that's why this more complex. We can't
Miss,
understand in one session. Yeah.
can you tell me a scenario like in our office actually one of the users has used uh, SAP this live office and then connected this live office to Excelsius dashboards. How would these two interact with each other and why? Any idea?
Yeah, yeah. So see this. This is a dashboard. Okay. See, live office. The main purpose of live office is to integrate BO reporting with MS Office. Okay. So
Yeah.
now this dashboard is getting the data from Excel. Agree?
Yeah.
Now I will not hard code the data here. Okay. If I hard code the data, if data changes in the backend, the dashboard will be static. So using live office, okay.
Uh-huh.
So using the live office connection, which is available in Excel sheets or dashboards, what I'll do is I'll bring the data dynamically into this Excel file. and from that Excel, I'll map data to this dashboard. So when I run this dashboard, okay, so live office query will run, which will bring the data from the backend universe. It's going to insert data into the Excel. From Excel, I represent here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, got it.
So business objects latest version don't require that live office connection. There is a new method to bring data into dashboard or Excel sheets using query browser. So that's why live office is going away.
Okay, got it. And out of all the tools that you have mentioned, uh, what are all the tools that can directly interact with SAP HANA? Can all the tools interact directly with SAP HANA or only some of them?
Directly in the sense like without universe layer, that's what you mean?
Uh, kind of, and as well as like means on SAP HANA we create analytical views and calculation views, right? So, is there any way one of these tools can interact directly on top of those and like connect to SAP HANA analytical view or something like that?
Okay. So,
If I'm getting ahead of things, but I just overview of anything.
okay. Yeah. So all these reporting tools can connect with HANA. Okay. Instead of this SQL server,
Mm-hmm.
I can go with SAP HANA, connect all these reporting tools,
Okay.
and only Webby and dashboard would require universe interface when it comes to HANA. So if it is HANA, Design Studio doesn't require the universe. I'll directly connect with HANA model.
Oh,
Lumira don't require a universe. I will skip the universe layer. Crystal report don't require a universe. I'll directly connect with HANA model.
oh, nice.
So, so likewise, Lumira. Only tools which require universe interface for HANA is Webby and dashboards.
Okay.
Rest all tools, Lumira, B1 analysis for Office, Crystal Reports, Design Studio, Lumira, BO Explorer, all then directly can connect with HANA.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And I assume like we'll be seeing one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
examples, right? For
No, no, not one of the examples. We'll see all of these tools with HANA, with BW, with SQL Server in detail. Okay.
okay,
This course is intended for reporting. So we're going to explore all these tools with all this backend in detail. Okay, not one example. We are going to see all examples.
perfect. Thank you.
Actually, no, when we understand one scenario, if you change the backend, not everything will change. Okay. Few things you need to keep in mind. So that way, we will be exploring all these backend options. So how Design Studio will work with HANA, how Design Studio will work with BW, how Design Studio will work with relational database. Okay. So this is what I said, that there is a difference in connections, there is a difference in the architecture, there is a difference in how the way you bring the data to these reporting tools based on the backend. So business objects would be used in one of these scenarios. Okay, a business objects reporting on a relational database, on HANA, on BW, or on BW on HANA. Okay.
So is MDX part of SAP BO, you're saying?
Now, MDX is a way how you bring the data. Like if you ask me if SQL is part of BO or SQL Server,
Right. So you're saying
so
it's more
it's a
like
method.
yeah, ETL functionality. It more looks like
No,
MDX.
it's like a query. You
Oh,
like
oh,
you do a SQL query. Here you do an MDX query.
oh, I see. Okay, multi-dimensional code. Okay, okay. I got
Yeah,
it now. Okay.
multi-dimensional query. Yes. So we can call it as a, what is SQL? Structured query language. This is multi-dimensional expression language. The way it's a different way to read the data from the backend system. Okay. So, okay, just to give course highlights, like I said, we are going to discuss all these reporting tools in detail with all these connections with backend, BW, sorry, BW, HANA, and a relational database. We are talking about the latest version of BO 4.2, and assignment after every session. So, the more assignments you do, so more practical experience, right?
Hey Ganesh,
Yeah. Yeah, Krishna.
is there a way we can start the session at 9 Central or something?
No, actually, I am not available at that time.
Because it's like almost it will be like 11 to
Half a
1
day, is it?
kind of thing. Like, uh, yeah. Just check if it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other participants in the whether that would be okay or not, but
Okay. So that we can discuss anyway. So that's all I have for the demo. Dinesh, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, Dinesh.
Yes, Ganesh.
So I'm done with the today's session. Maybe I'm making as a host.
Yep.
Please interact. Shall I leave the session? Do you
Uh,
have anything for
I
me?
would appreciate like if you be in the session for next 5 minutes. It will
Yeah.
not take much time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Go
thank you
ahead.
very much, Ganesh, for such a wonderful session. Just want to like give you a quick. I'm sorry, there is a question, I guess, Ganesh, for you. Can you explain 4.2?
No, no, Surya. We'll discuss that in the coming sessions. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
So Ganesh, since like we have like started this batch. Okay, now I can see like there is a long weekend that's coming in. Okay, which is July 4th, July 5th. So I'm still like, discussing with the management, do we have to keep the session on that particular day or not? So just want to discuss that. So I would get back to everyone related to the start date. Even I'll keep you informed, Ganesh, okay, in
Yeah.
advance, whether we are going to keep the session on Saturday or not. If not,
Okay.
then probably on 11th of July, we will be starting with session one.
Okay.
Okay, in case like the management said that we are good to go from July 4th, and if the candidates, couple of candidates I know, they are from US, like Krishna and Pranav and Rabindra. I know like they are from US, and Pawan I guess from UK. All right. So a couple of students are there more who are from US. So if they are comfortable to start this batch from July 4th, okay, we are good to go. So I'll keep you updated on that, and even like for the people who are there in the session, I'll also keep you posted about it. In case if you have any questions, you can just go ahead and ask me the questions. So Ganesh, I guess if you wish, you can leave the session right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ganesh. So if you have any questions, please ask me the questions or give me a call on my number, which is 515 309 1546.